Oh my, the day has finally come. I would never thought in a million years I would ever be saying this, but Michael Bay has done it. He has made a great movie. Pain and Gain is, without a doubt, his best film to date. It's his funniest film to date, and it's just his smartest film to date. What's so great about it? Well, it pretty much what it takes the American dream and pretty much kind of sells it out for being this rather just worthless ideal, really. Just saying how it's kind of absurd and saying that, and kind of saying you don't have to be like a great person to achieve it. Well, anyone can really achieve it. It just takes a bit of, I guess, skill. I don't know, something like that. Or is it just stupid? I don't know. But it centers around these three characters. The main guy, Mark Wahlberg, who is awesome in this movie. He plays Daniel Lugo, and just off the note, this is based on a true story, and I think I may do another video regarding the sort of the side of because what it centers around these three criminals. Now, it's one of those things you kind of they're the main characters, so therefore you kind of have to root for them, but then you kind of realize, well, they do some really horrible things in this movie, and you're sitting there, they're the main characters. Are we supposed to root for them, or because this was based on a true story from '94 and '95 in Miami, so some of the people involved with this are still alive, I'm sure. But that's just Jeremy Jahns did a good point on that in his review of it, even though he didn't like the movie as much, I think. But I love this movie. This is a black comedy, I guess. Maybe not black comedy. Dark comedy, I guess you could argue. So it centers around these three bodybuilders: Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Mackie, and Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson gives by far one of his best performances to date. I never thought I'd be saying that about Dwayne Johnson, but Dwayne Johnson, he's 7 foot tall, all muscle. He plays this super religious nut, really, and everything he does is he somehow ties it to religion. It's hilarious to watch. Mark Wahlberg is good. He's well casted, I think. I don't know if Michael Bay was trying to do something different. I don't know. I could also picture maybe Shia LaBeouf in that role, but I think maybe Mark Wahlberg because he's older. But anyways, the story. It centers around these three guys: Anthony Mackie, Mark Wahlberg, and Dwayne Johnson. They work at this a gym, really. They're kind of just tired of life. They're tired of not really being at the top. And one day, Mark Wahlberg, he's a personal trainer at this gym. He starts training this rich millionaire guy, and what he does, he plans this scheme. It's okay, we're gonna kidnap him. We're gonna force him to sign up to give us all his money, all his assets, all his houses, everything. So they do that. They just do that. But then they realize, well, we have to kill him now, and they don't. No one can really come to the effort of killing him, so they kind of just leave him as is. Ed Harris appears. He plays this detective. I love Ed Harris, and he's also good. I wish he was in it just a little more, but he plays Ed Dubois, I think his name is, or is that a company name? He plays this old retired detective. Now, why is this movie good? I'm just gonna kind of just pause for a minute and just say, why is this movie good? This movie is good because it kind of just shows if Michael Bay really wants to do something well, he can do it well. I mean, well, maybe that doesn't make any sense, but my point being is that you probably sat down from the start and realized, alright, I don't want to do something big and loud like Transformers. I don't want to do something that's just absurd like Armageddon or something. That sort of starts off good but then just gets stupid. You probably sat down and realized, okay, how can I make this movie good? And he does that, really. it's on actually a small budget. It's only on $20 million, I think, and that's enough money for one explosion. You get your one explosion, but then it's great. What it is, you can see it in the trailer. They're walking away from the explosion, and Dwayne Johnson, Anthony Mackie, like, oh my god, they're flinching, they're going crazy, like, ah, it's loud. Yeah, it's interesting take on that. Kind of reminds me of that scene from The Other Guys with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, where an explosion goes off. Ah, the movie's treated wrong. Explosions hurt, man, even from like 100 feet away. Now getting into, I guess, the politics of it. It is hard to kind of, so yeah, you end up like sympathizing with these characters, even after so many of the bad things they do. But it gets interesting. After they take this guy, they take all his money, they start running out of money, so they realize, okay, we gotta do another job like this. But then things go horribly wrong, and, well, it shows one of the major murders that this group sort of committed. And it's not a pretty sight, and, excuse me while I tend to my dog. It's not a pretty sight, really. Michael Bay really amps up the, I guess, realism. Well, maybe not realism, but the graphic detail. Oh, and speaking of, the running gag throughout the movie is, they'll sort of have little pauses and have little titles, just with, like, sort of saturated color or something, or polarized color, I don't know. But the funniest bits is when they keep bringing up this whole notion, is like, this is a true story. My favorite title was, yes, this is still a true story. And the best bit, one of the funniest bits of that is when Dwayne Johnson, because he gets rich now, he has this massive cocaine addiction, and it's like, warning, cocaine can cause, and just gives this big list. I thought, are they going to list that all? But then as the list goes, they sort of start to speak. The recording speaks faster and faster. It's like, my friend does. It's hard to say. I mean, yeah, the movie, there are bits that I think are dumb in it. It's not a perfect movie. Oh, okay. Excuse me while I tend to my dog. But I think for Michael Bay, this is his best movie. Now, it's getting fairly mixed reviews. Chris Knight of the National Post, he gives it 3.5 stars. Said he has newfound respect for Michael Bay and said that Michael Bay has nothing to apologize for. And I agree, and I think I'll just wrap up this review. It's a great film, it's funny, it's dark, but I might do another video saying kind of the politics behind it, really. Well, sort of like, can we really root for the bad guys? Because these people are, they're horrible. They murder people, they get out of this, they torture this one guy. He kind of looks like Joe Pesci, really. But quick question, though. How does Michael Bay get all these beautiful women? I mean, Michael Bay directed Victoria's Secret ads, but probably has good connections. But yeah, this is his best film to date, and I give it 8 out of 10. I think it's great. Yeah, there are bits that are dumb, but they're far and few between, and a lot of beautiful women. There's one running gag with this one really gorgeous looking, I think she's like a stripper or something. But I would like to see Michael Bay do more movies like this. He's doing Transformers 4, of course, and Ninja Turtles, which I'm both kind of nervous for. Mark Wahlberg is going to be in Transformers 4, so nothing to worry about that. Mark Wahlberg said he just had an absolute blast making this movie. Said he loved working with Michael Bay. So I don't really know what else to say. I think it's a great movie. I think I recommend it, but at the end of it, you gotta sit there and kind of question, like, kind of the perspective of it. You do see both sides of the perspective, kind of, like, who the victims, well, not really victims, kind of, who the one guy they kind of sacked, they kind of robbed was, and kind of who the people they kill were, but it's hard to go into it. I'll just do another video on that, maybe. But I think it's a good film. Though it is a bit questionable at times. But 8 out of 10, and I recommend it. So, bye. And Michael Bay, good job.